friends, homies. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Uh, I know I said I wasn't probably gonna go on until Thursday night. Um, but I and I know it's a late one, and frankly, uh, yeah, I'm feeling really under the weather. Uh, it's pretty funny how Sunday night when I was on, um, I was uh, I was kind of in a weird mood. Um, but it turns out that I was just coming down with a real bad cold. Uh, and I definitely I'm definitely one of those people that when I'm sick and I'm not feeling real good, I definitely I normally make a much bigger deal out of it than I need to, because that's how men are. Men are generally big wusses when it comes to when it comes to being sick. Um, but uh, but it's weird. I think since I've applied these Glera principles into my everyday life, getting in the habit of that kind of also it causes other things, and I've said this before. It makes things a little bit easier. Um, the things that seemed more difficult before, they seem a lot more difficult now, or they seem a lot easier now, I should say, actually. And also, that's another thing, is when I get sick, that's one of the signs I get nice and stupid. So, but I'm I'm definitely not feeling great, but I definitely am handling being sick a lot better than I used to. I went to work. I went through my day. Everything was good. Everything was decent. I did that yesterday. But it was really funny because Sunday night, uh, as it was really weird, it was hitting me as I was doing the broadcast. That's why I was yawning and I was feeling run down. I couldn't figure out. I was like, why am I yawning right now? If you go back and listen to it, you'll see that. And I was like, why am I yawning right now? And then I started sniffling, and then it just, man, by the time I was done with the broadcast, I was like, holy shit, I'm sick. And I wasn't thinking about being sick because I was focused on what I was doing here. So it was just really funny that it just kind of hit me, and I didn't really think about um, how I was feeling, and I wasn't focused on how I was feeling until I was in a position to think about how I was feeling. But when I was on here, I wasn't even thinking about it at all. And so yeah, it turns out that yeah, I was coming down with a cold as I was talking to you guys. It was really crazy. Um, so again, so apologies for that, and my voice right now. I definitely feeling under the weather at the moment, but I felt really compelled to go on tonight because um, I don't know, if there ever was for me something that tells me that I probably should, then it was definitely tonight. I mean, out of nowhere, like in the same few minutes, I got an email. I got news from somebody that is one of my mods who I've grown very, very close to. And I got, um, and I also got, I have, I have one person that is really weird. Before I could really decide how I felt about it, I have one person who's a patron. I have one patron, and I'm totally okay with that. As a matter of fact, to me, that's a little too much. But once in a while, she'll shoot me a few bucks, and it's a very kind. It's a very modest yet very kind amount, and it's I mean, and anything would be kind. So it's very, the minute that I see that, and it's just for nothing but support, and just to show a little love, I feel super grateful for it, and I'm really happy about it. Um, so that was really cool. But I got a really sad email, um, which I'm not gonna read, but it's from another listener who it's from a listener who I did read one of his emails before, and I discussed something that this person was going through, and I felt really bad, and it's a terrible, terrible story. And his fiance and her daughter, who he expressed very, very adamantly that she was like a daughter to him as well, and they were tragically killed in a car, in a drunk driving accident. Um, and apparently today was their anniversary, and I felt terrible. Like, it was crazy when I was reading it. I felt extremely bad reading it, and I could just kind of feel this person's pain. And they, you know, and they're such a loyal listener, and it was just really nice to hear from them. But it was painful to feel what they were going through, and they were expressing how today was harder than anything. And so, um, and I found myself in a position where I felt like I needed to tell him how I was feeling, um, for him, but I also felt kind of a responsibility, because ironically, in the act of feeling empathetic, uh, I feel the need to I feel the need to also express to him how I wish someone would be expressing things to me if I were in that situation. And Hey, Mystic, you're the only one in here, by the way. But I'm just talking anyway because I'm sure people can go back and listen to the replay, and I'm totally cool with that. But uh, I felt extremely compelled to go on tonight and discuss this, and he I, I he explained to me that he was drinking a little bit, and how it was just such a, today being the anniversary of their death, that it was so painful for him, and and all I could tell him was that this is, as horrible as it is, this is one of those things, man, that life gives you, and and no matter what, no matter how hard things get, I am a firm believer that it's our responsibility to handle them, to handle these things accordingly, and to I feel like there's a deeper purpose. And I know people who are going through these hard times, man, they don't want to hear this. I get it. I don't want to hear it. Hey, Rainbow Bright. And when people are going through this hard time, man, the last thing they want to hear is that stuff. But I mean, it's absolutely true. At least I'm of the opinion that it's absolutely true. And I was sitting here and reading his email, and all I could tell him was, because this is somebody who told me that applying the Glera principles have really helped him, and this is something that he's been using, and he's very, very grateful for hey, Irish, that he's really, really grateful for this channel, and he really is very grateful because he emails me a lot, and it's really, really, he's really just showing love. And so I felt even though I can't imagine the pain, um, even though I can't imagine the pain that he goes through, it being 3 years ago today that he lost his fiance and a little girl that he already thought of as a daughter of his own. And I know that feeling because my daughter is not biologically mine, and I raised her from the age of 3, and I love her extremely. I don't have the words to describe how much I care about her. So I understand that, and I can only imagine the pain that he's going through, having lost them so tragically. So I, I, as much as it pained me to say it, I had to tell him, it this is what life handed you, and and I think we owe it to our loved ones' memories who we've lost so unfairly, and when we feel like we don't have a purpose anymore. I feel like it's our responsibility to actually find purpose when we don't see it, because it's there. It's always there. Our purpose is always there. If we are here on this earth and we are breathing and we are walking around and we are affecting other people's lives with our interaction with them, then we definitely have a purpose, whether we've zoned in on that purpose or not. We absolutely, it's undeniable that we do have a purpose. It's just a question of us finding it, despite these tragic things. And we have to look at these tragic things that happen to us as a way as playing a part in defining who we are. But we have to decide how we allow that to define us, where we allow those things to take us, what direction they point us in. That is completely up to us. I truly believe that. And and all I could tell him was that in short words, because when you're writing an email, you don't want to say so much, but because you don't want to be rude and make somebody read too much. That's actually how I look at writing emails or letters or anything like that. Um, and 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 I couldn't blame him for drinking. He mentioned he got himself a bottle of Jack Daniels. And he wasn't saying anything negative. He was just, I guess he felt the need. He saw a friend in me and felt the need to email me. Um, and and I really hope that he saw where I was coming from with that email, because I really, I I love I love the fact that we have the power to turn these things around. And for some reason, to me, if we find the right way to turn these awful things that happen to us in our lives, if we find the strength and find the way to turn them around so that they work for us in some way, when it's extremely difficult to do so, especially if it's extremely difficult to do so, we find we it somehow makes us stronger. It makes us stronger, and it makes us wiser, and it puts us in a better position to be able to help others in some way or another, whether it's just even inspiring someone with them being able to see how you're handling these horrible things. So in this really odd, fucked up way, these things are opportunity. And this is hard. These things are hard to hear when we've all been through tragedy. And I believe we all have our tragedies. We all do. Everybody in this chat, everybody listening to it, listening to this, we all have a tragedy in our lives that have made getting up in the morning and dealing with every day the way that we have to deal with every day. It makes it more difficult. And how we handle these things define us in a certain way. And I felt the need to remind him of that. I haven't he hasn't responded yet, but I I really really meant every word I said, and him saying that he was drinking, man, I couldn't blame him for that. You know what I'm saying? I just said, my advice, if you're drinking, uh, try to do it. Try to come from a place of celebration for having strength to have dealt with the last 3 years as well as you have, and what you can do in the future. Because I know that, and I mentioned this stuff before. I know that the people that are in our lives that truly love us, whether they're still with us or whether they're gone, what they want from us or would want from us is for us to be the best people that we can be, to us be to, for us to be as best of badasses that we can do, that we can be, and take on life as well as we can. Just tackle it, just make life our personal bitch, and and I really truly believe that. And uh, so, hey man, if you're listening, yeah, man, uh, enjoy that drink, man. But if you can, make it a celebration drink. Make it a celebration for being proud of yourself, for handling life the way that that those people that you lost in your life would want you to. You deserve it. You deserve to celebrate. You deserve to pat yourself on the back. You deserve to be proud of what you've done and what you're capable of. And I really, really, truly believe that, and I mean that. And and I'm sorry, guys, if I'm I'm sorry if I'm kind of dragging here. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really under the weather. I'm in the biggest throes of a season change flu. So it is what it is. It happens to me about once a year, and I'm usually a big wuss about it. But um, anyway, uh, I also I also wanted to discuss uh, a situation, and I don't know if she can log on now. I sent a message telling her that I was going to go on live and talk about this a little bit, but I need everybody who is familiar with Mignon. She's one of my mods, but not only is she one of my mods, she's become a very, very good friend. Um, and and my mods and I'm very, very proud of the relationship that I have with them. I'm extremely proud of it. And uh, sometimes I can't interact in our little group chat where we discuss things, but a lot of the times, actually most of the times, all we discuss are just everyday things, and we chat like a group about just everyday things, just for fun, like a bunch of friends do. And I love having that informal um, bond with them. And I love, more than that, I love that they have that with each other, regardless of what the channel's doing, what my group is doing. I love that I adore that they have that with each other. And Mignon is dealing with a very, very, very trying situation right now that I can't even imagine going through. And she's incredibly strong in how she's handling it. And so, first of all, I want to express to her my respect um, for her, that she is handling this the way that she is. Um, and she has been very, very inspiring to me. She has an incredible sense of humor. She's always joking and she's always positive, regardless of what she's going through. Um, and Hold on, I'm going to read this out loud real quick. This is why I love my mods, and I love this particular mod. Irish just said, someone told me once that life is a boot camp for your soul. I've always loved that. Thought I'd slide that in there, albeit a bit late. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that statement more. Um, yeah, that's how we've just got to look at this. I mean, that's a fantastic metaphor. If you are somebody who sees your soul as being an eternal thing, you can either flunk out of boot camp or you can like bust through it, man. You know, without cheating. You just take everything that kind of training has for you, and get as much out of it positively as you can. So that's a fantastic metaphor. Thank you for sharing that, Irish. I really appreciate that. Um, but going back to Mignon, um, if life is a boot camp, then man, she is rocking it, and she's rocking it with a handicap. Um, and and literally, and I don't want to put her business out there totally, but it's something very physical, that she's dealing with, and it's very, very. Yeah, as from what she says is the diagnosis of it, and also the prognosis. Her describing what she's been doing is to me exactly an example of strength and how you're supposed to handle something like that. How one could only wish they could have the strength to handle something like that. So, um, and I'm going to tell you guys a little story. And this is 100% true. This is all 100% true. There is a real man that I know. And he is a Vietnam veteran. And before he left to Vietnam, he had a woman, and a beautiful woman, a saint of a woman, to be perfectly honest. And he left Vietnam, but made a promise to her that he was going to walk her down the aisle. He was going to come back from Vietnam and he was going to walk her down the aisle. Uh, and this man was a helicopter. He was a helicopter pilot in the Vietnam War, and he, at one point during battle, his helicopter was shot down, and the way that it went down, he managed to keep it level as it was going down, but it crash landed flat uh, the way that you would normally land it, just very fast, because it was a crash landing, and the impact. What happened was it basically crushed three or four of his vertebrae. If I'm correct, I'm not 100% sure. Um, but he was definitely he to this day he's definitely paralyzed from the waist down, meaning no feeling from the waist down. Uh, so this man, uh, this man fulfilled his promise of his regardless of his accident, regardless of his ailment. This man fulfilled his promise to his wife and walked her down the aisle. And this man, I've known him for well over 20 years, probably close to 30, to be honest. And he, until maybe about 10 years ago, this man refused to sit in a wheelchair. Flat out refused. He wouldn't do it. I've personally seen this man paralyzed from the waist down, leg press 50 pounds. I've seen it with my eyes. I hung out with this man every day. I house sat for him, and just he had a music studio in his garage that he also built with friends after Vietnam, and for many years, myself and his sons uh, took advantage of that being there, and that was that was my musical home. I played guitar and played bass and made music for my entire adult life, and until maybe just a few years ago. And this man had this studio in his house and provided this place, and he was sometimes very difficult, but despite that, he had an open door always. So everyone was welcome until you took advantage and messed up, and a lot of people did. And you were welcome in his house no matter what. That was the kind of guy he is still to this day. And so this man, what he did, he learned to walk and shift his weight with two canes. So you could just see this guy, man, just total buff upper body. This guy was working out all the time, always building his upper strength and working on his lower strength too, as best as he could. And he would shift his weight on crutches to get around because he refused to be in a wheelchair. And this man eventually would sit in a wheelchair, but mind you, I would see this man. I would see this man sit there and and move his feet. He did that all the time. He would move his legs and shift his legs to different positions, and but this man was paralyzed from the waist down. He could not feel anything. He could not feel anything. I remember on a couple of occasions he had, and actually I believe he actually had one of his feet amputated recently, because of an infection that he got that he couldn't feel. But but I've seen him with bandages on his feet because him and his wife own two properties, which is the one in Miami, Florida. I should say Hialeah, Florida, and then another one in Gainesville, Florida. And in Gainesville, the house in Gainesville would get cold, obviously, in the property, but they're outdoor people and they like to sleep out in tents, and it's just incredible the types of things that this man does, paralyzed from the waist down, that most people who have full function of all their limbs and all their body parts uh, don't do, won't do. So it's very, very inspiring to know him. And he's an incredible songwriter and musician. Uh, and yeah, it's been great knowing this man. Um, but the most important thing that I learned from this man was that anything is possible. It does not matter. I saw this with my own eyes over a span of almost 3 decades of this man defying what we're taught every day is possible and is not possible, or defying what is not possible. He's absolutely showing what we're taught is impossible. That you're just fucking wrong. You're not going to tell this man what he can and can't do. Nobody's going to tell this man what he can and can't do. Nobody, ever. So, Mignon, when you listen to this and when you hear this, I want you to know that your soul, I've gotten to know your soul so much that I'm totally crazy about the fact that I get to know it. I'm totally into that. um, and and I see that kind of strength in you. I see you saying, "This is not going to stop me. I'm going to do what I have in mind. I'm going to do. I'm gonna face any challenge that life throws at me." And 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 I believe in you 150%. I have no reason not to. Your attitude it's been exemplary, to say the least. So uh, everybody, you know, um, do me a big favor. Everybody who's listening to this in the chat, throw in a thumbs up. I'm not even talking about a like, just a thumbs up, just for Mignon, because she always does that with me. She's always giving me a thumbs up, so I think it's dope. Um, if she throws up a thumbs up, if everybody throws up a thumbs up just for her. Um, so I don't. um, I'm incredibly. This channel has put me in a position to where I am incredibly humbled by the souls and personalities that I've gotten to know and to understand and to interact with. This is an incredible thing, and from all over, from different places all over the country and the world. It's definitely nothing to shake a stick at. And yeah, Irish, me too. Um, and this has been so good. This has been so good. Um, and so, regardless of these awful things that are happening to us, these awful tragedies, I I am inspired by you guys to be resilient with no matter what tragedies life throws at me. And I really hope that we can all do that with each other, that we all get that from each other, and all it takes is just to be open enough to listen for it and pay attention to it, uh, and use these things to to you know, like Irish said, you know, boot camp for the soul. This is training. That's all this is. This is just training for the rest of the things that our souls can be capable of. Um, and I do believe that our souls are capable of much bigger and greater things than we are even capable of imagining right now. I truly, truly believe that. So, um, so yeah, uh, I think uh, I think no matter what, we uh, we all have the strength. We all have the strength to be resilient, to be absolutely resilient uh, in fulfilling, or at least no matter what, putting forth the effort to be exactly what our souls are capable of doing. We're all very, very, very capable of this, and it's to me, it's just. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really struggling here because I'm sick as hell, and so I get a lot of brain farts when I'm sick. But and I get them anyway, so they're a little worse now. So I do apologize, guys. Um, but but yeah, I can't begin to describe how excited I get from time to time when when I can find that, when I can dig deep and find these things that make that give us an excuse to be bummed out or depressed, and then put a twist on it and make them things to be grateful for and get excited about and get pumped and push harder, push myself harder. I get really, really excited about being able to do that, and I get really excited about such a late stage in my life, and gotten the opportunity to discover that. Um, so yeah, man. Um, yeah. But I also I wanted to talk about so as you guys know, as a lot of you know, Saturday the plan is on Jay is for Justice, on that channel with Jay. Her and I are going to cover Mandy's case some more, and we want to get more signatures for that petition to make sure that this person who did this, he he pays uh, he pays for what he did, and and in the way that our justice system can possibly can has the capability of doing so. So I and originally we were supposed to have one of Mandy's family members broadcast with us, but that person recently contacted me and unfortunately declined, and I have no hard feelings against them for this at all, because I completely understand why they could not, and that's and I I I I promise that, and I think I could speak for Jay here, that her and I are going to do everything we can to honor her memory, to honor Mandy's memory um, during that broadcast. And we really need more signatures, because we really need to shake a few trees there in Oklahoma and get some attention on that situation, because Mandy is not seeing justice. Mandy's family is not seeing justice, and I think for this for us to call this a true crime community, and be part of a true crime community, and I'm including listeners as well, viewers and listeners as well, that it's on you too. It's on you as well. We have to. We can all make a difference, but we're all going to have to pull together, and we're all going to have to start focusing on the things that are actually important. And 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 I think that this is a very important thing, and I think this is a good thing that will bring us all together and can give us a little bit more purpose and can make a difference and can bring a little bit of peace to a good family who lost someone very special to them and senselessly. So I am really really looking forward to that. So um, and I really think that everybody that's at least uh, my subscribers, I think we're all full of that. We're all full of people like that. This is what we have here. This is the type of demographic this community has, and I'm very very proud of that, and I'm very very proud to be a part of it. So. Um, Sorry guys for I am not upbeat right now at all, and it's like 1 in the morning. So all you guys that are here, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you. um, I'm gonna look over the chat a little bit here, and I've already forgotten who I've said hi to and who I haven't, because I've been kind of looking at the chat here. um, Starset, what's up? Beth Wade. um, let's see. um, Don J, how we doing? Sleuth investigates. Hey, um, Save Robbie. What's up, my man? So yeah, man. Yo, hey, listen, Robbie, dude. I got a little bone to pick with you, man. Okay, your last live, man. I'm just kidding. It's not even a bone to pick with you. I'm just messing with you. But man, yo, Robbie went on talking about his gripe with the whole Santa Claus thing, and where it fits into the holidays, man. And it was a point where he was making it out to seem like Santa Claus and our parents lying to us about Santa Claus, like really really had this horrible effect on our dynamic with our parents, and it was really deep. And I was like, no man, no it doesn't. It's because deep down I'm still this magical kid who thinks Santa Claus is maybe out there. Maybe I lost that magic because I got older, and then someday Santa Claus is gonna come at me like in a Christmas movie and go, oh well, you've been naughty, and then I'm gonna be like, oh man, Santa. So, but I totally get it. He was making some serious good points, and that's why I was getting so mad about it. I was like, man, I really wasn't getting mad about it, but it was funny, man. Like, it was a totally that was that subject matter was something that I just did not see coming, and it was great because it got a lot of people talking, man. Everybody in your chat was talking, and it got me thinking, So good for you, man. That was controversial in the most positive way. It was so crazy. It was this light-hearted subject matter that was deep as fuck. So, Ravi, that was badass. um, yeah. Um, but yeah, it was quite funny. And unfortunately, I couldn't pay as much attention to it during the chat. Like I re-listened to it later. But during the chat, I was at work and I really couldn't interact in the chat as much as I wanted to. And I started off kind of joking around and stuff. But it was funny. Yeah, that's I'm not gonna get into that because I don't want I don't want to steal Robbie's thunder on the whole Santa subject and start contradicting what he's saying and then go to war with Robbie over the subject of Santa. That's not what I want to do. That's definitely not what I want to do. But yeah, man, yeah. There's, it was, it was one of those things that we don't think about too deep, and like it's a deep subject matter, man. That was some serious shit. Um, and yes, Robbie, vitamin tea, man. I don't know what turmeric tea is, but I'll look it up. But I'm almost over it, man. Like, I'm the kind of guy that I hate being sick so much that I convince myself that I'm not sick when I am, which is why I didn't feel it coming on when it was, when I was doing it Sunday, when I was talking to you guys on Sunday night. Um, but yeah, yeah, Irish, you should definitely listen to it after this. Robbie's channel is super cool, man. It's really chill, and he's always got these funny little stories. And yo, and he can rap too. He had some rap songs that was pretty dope. It was a really enjoyable live. I really had fun with it. I really had fun listening to it. Um, but um, but yeah, as far as being sick goes, man, I don't. It's funny. Like I'm the type of guy like I'll become a big pussy about it, but at the same time I'll be like, this thing is not getting the best of me. I'm gonna beat it before it even hits me real hard. I'm just gonna like wrap up in a blanket. I'm gonna watch Marvel movies, and I'm gonna sleep through it for a day, and then the next day I'm taking it. I'm gonna beat this thing. So that's how I get. Yeah, I get all pumped over beating a cold. So, which is kind of what I've been doing. I even worked out a little bit today, um, and I but I've been eating for the most part kind of healthy. Definitely, with the soup, the comfort food, and whatever, just to feel a little bit better. Um, but but yeah, usually I give these things like 24 hours. I'm just like, that's 24 hours and that's it. 24 hours of being a bitch, and then I go from there. I take over from there. It's mine. So yeah. And yes, Irish. All that she deals with. Speaking of Mignon again, all that she deals with, and she's a mother as well. I just can't say enough good things about her, and I absolutely and totally agree. And she's always funny, and she's always positive, and it just breaks my heart, and I don't even know what to say to her sometimes because she'll just be like, "I'm in so much pain," and and yeah, it's crazy. Yo, and all the love you guys are showing for her in the chat, man, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Yo, Amy, what's up? Yeah, Amy, you're catching it at the end here. I'm gonna be wrapping it up pretty soon. Uh, I'm just, I'm still probably gonna go on. I'm still probably gonna go on Thursday night after everybody's had Thanksgiving dinner and talk a little bit more about gratitude because I'm real big on that. And and if there's ever a day to talk about gratitude, it's Thanksgiving. And I don't want to hear any bullshit about the Pilgrims and the Indians and none of that shit. I don't care about the history of it. The tradition is the tradition. I'm just accepting the fact that the tradition is there, and I don't give a shit about the history of it. I'm gonna make it mine, and you can either enjoy it with me or not. But and look at me, I'm being a crab because I'm sick. But yeah, so I'm gonna, I'm definitely, I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that it's a day to give thanks, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to use that, and that's gonna be the plan. and I appreciate everybody logging on so late. Yeah, love to you too, Amy. Yeah. It's some, yeah. I talked about some heavy stuff tonight, and again, I apologize for not being, uh, you know, as lighthearted as I like to be, um, and it's funny. Hey, I'm gonna, I I'm gonna take the last 10 minutes here, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about some of the YouTube subscribers that I've been coming across, because lately I've been talking about that ever since uh, I I realized that if I'm going to expect to make any type of impact among my listeners in the YouTube community, I've got to try to allow myself to be exposed to other YouTube creators. And I've been paying some attention to some, and lately I've been talking about some of the YouTube creators I've come across and some of the experiences that I have from listening to them, and watching them. And there was a there was a there's a couple of creators that I want to throw some, not some shade at, but good stuff. There's one, and I don't know if you guys know her, but I like her, and I don't know about any of the personal stuff, because I know some creators don't get along with other creators, blah 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 blah. I don't care about any of that. But I was watching, lately. I watched this one lady, and her name is, she goes by, her channel's name is, She Won Everything. I don't know if any of you guys pay attention to her. She never goes live. She just records video and posts them, but I think she's hilarious. and and so I want to throw her some love, because she just gets on there, man, and it's really cool, and it's real positive. Like, she's got this vibe about her that's really cool, and I dig it a lot. Um, and oh, yeah, Mystic. I started to watch that, but I was at work. The Shipwreck Beck. She has a new one. Yeah. Um, and that's cool. She. We don't agree on the fact that, on the whole Nicole Kessinger thing, but that's okay. I just like the way she runs her channel, and that's really cool. So, I like Shipwreck Beck still. And uh, and yeah, she won everything. She was so she's so funny, man. Like, I just I sit there, and I'm entertained from the very moment. So she has, right. Okay, so Amy, you know her too, and Don J. Okay, cool. Yeah, she goes on, and she has this little catchphrase. She, like, when she goes on, she says, "Hey everybody, hey," and it's super cool, and it's super chill, and you get this warm feeling over you when she does it, and I really liked it a lot. Um, and then she went through this weird little thing where, like, Mary Marlowe, like stole it from her, or like did it to mock her or throw shade at her or whatever. But um, I mean, who gives a fuck if what Mary Marlowe says? Who gives a shit? She's fucking, yeah. She's a wacky cracky. You don't have to pay attention to Mary Marlowe. Like, so she's been weird about saying, "Hey everybody, hey." So I'm like, yo, if you're listening to this right now, if she's listening to this right now, yo, keep saying, "Hey everybody, hey," when you go on, man. I love that shit. I Every time I click on your channel and I hear, "Hey everybody, hey," it's super cool, super chill, and I'm engaged. I'm ready to hear it, and that's yours. Nobody can take that away. I don't give a shit about Mary Marlowe or anybody else. Nobody can take that away from you. We love you for it, so keep doing it, please. You're really, really cool. I like you a lot. Um, and there's one more that I'm not thinking of right now. Oh wait, while I'm on here, this might take a little bit more than 6 minutes though, because I was hoping to wrap this up in an hour, exactly an hour. But this, I've got to throw somebody a little bit of love here, and it's one of my listeners, and it's one of Jay's listeners, and as you guys know, as you guys all know, I I I'm subscribed to Mary Marlowe. And I'm also rightfully so blocked because if I get in that chat, man, I'm just gonna tear her up because she is so full of shit. Um, but uh, we have a listener here, okay? We have a listener here, and I want to acknowledge her publicly. Her name is Connie, and you guys have all seen Connie in different chats, I guarantee you. And I wasn't sure what to make of her. And she was in Mary Marlowe's chat today. I was watching Mary Marlowe's live today, and first of all, let me tell you, Mary Marlowe started off that live on some bullshit from the start, right off the bat. And yo, I even texted my moms. I was like, "Yo, are you guys fucking seeing this shit?" And she, she totally got pissed off at some dude. I think his name's Rocket Science Crime or some shit like that. She called this dude out because he asked her he asked her a simple question. He asked her a simple question about Bella, and she said something about Bella being dead, and then it was something about her palate or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And then and apparently, and this I don't even this is all coming from her and her live, right? So Mary Marlowe, she calls this guy out because she said something about Bella, and then all he did was say, "Where, what facts do you have to back that up?" And I'm guessing that a guy named Rocket Science Crime is probably open to hearing that, and it just seemed like, okay, well, I've never heard that before, so what facts do you have to back that up so that I know where that came from, and I can, and now I'm learning something new about the case. Cool, right? And so instead, what she does is she like calls him out and says, "Oh, well, how dare you speak negative about me when I say positive things about you?" And then she goes, she says something about, first of all, when do you ever hear me say anything that could be backed up by facts? Yo, she said that shit out loud in the camera, looking at all of her fucking viewers in the fucking face, dude. How the fuck do you say something that fucking dumb? True crime rocket science. He writes books. Okay, is he a good author, Mystic? Now, I'm telling you, dude, I couldn't fuck. I was like, this lady is straight up admitting to her viewers. She's starting off her live admitting to her viewers that she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And yet everybody still subscribes to her. Now, going back to Connie, I was watching the live, right? I was paying attention to this live. And I saw Connie comment, and I wasn't sure if Connie was a troll for Mary Marlowe or whatnot, because the last time she was in my live and we talked a little bit about the Watts case, and uh, she said something about Trent, that she believes Trent, and I was like, no, thought that was debunked because um, and then she asked me how, and then I just moved on from the whole thing. There's yes, Connie, there you are, Connie Gustafson. Yes, I am talking about you, and I'm showing you love. I promise. So I said something, and then I thought maybe she might have been a troll, right? But then I was watching the chat in Mary Marlowe's live today, and I was watching it quite closely, and Connie had said something. Connie said, first, one of the first comments she made was that she likes Mary Marlowe and that she follows Mary Marlowe, and that she's very open about following Mary Marlowe. She's a loyal listener. She's very open about it. Um, and I even told my mom, I was like, oh, what's up with this? Because it's no secret that I don't say very nice things about Mary Marlowe on my channel. Um, and and then she made a comment in the chat. I remember she made a comment saying something about she believes Trent, but she does believe Nicole Kessinger to be innocent. And then all of a sudden, her whole chat, Mary Marlowe's whole chat, turned on her like a pack of fucking dogs, dude. Just like a pack of fucking drooling, barking dogs. And they were like, Connie's a troll, Connie's a troll, Connie's a troll. She's a she's a she's a NK lover and blah blah blah. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's crazy. And then I saw that she was muted because she comes back and she goes, I don't understand. I was like, Mary, are you do you have is it not okay to have a difference of opinion on your channel? She was super respectful, and then they totally fucking like she disappeared out of the chat. She fucking disappeared. Yo, Connie, did they block you, or did they just, or did they just, mute you? But because I saw that they were deleting your comments. I saw that they deleted your comments, but I did not see. Well, dude, I know Irish. Like I know. There's humor to it, but yo, that lady's out of her fucking mind, dude. Like dude, she has like she has like I saw a headline for it live. I didn't even watch it, but I guess what she was trying to do was like was promote the fact that she was talking to a fucking psychic who claimed that 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 she was talking to Bella or Cece, one of the two. That she was talking to Bella or Cece, and they were saying things about Shanann or something to that effect. And people eat this shit up, dude. Like, how fucking irresponsible are you? Yo, Connie, I'm telling you right now, and I'm saying this shit publicly. You can do what you want, and I commend you for it. I commend you for handling this in a very, very mature way, in a very positive way. But I was there and I watched that chat. I saw what you did, and you didn't do anything wrong at all. As a matter of fact, you answered any questions that I had about being in any ways a troll, in any possible ways. I don't think you're a troll at all. I think that you have your opinions, and you explore different channels, even if those channels are of opposing opinions, and you get what you can out of those channels and make your own opinions, which is the very epitome of what I encourage my listeners to do, which is the very epitome of something that I strive to do and I want to do, because I'm going to have my own fucking opinions. I don't give a shit what this person thinks or what that person thinks. I'm going to have my own opinions. And no, Connie, you did not do anything wrong in that chat. I watched it. I saw it. I watched it and I saw it, and you were completely. That's not what she did in the slightest. That's not even close to what she did. I think that's what I'm getting out of you, Connie, is I think that you saying that's why I contacted her for clarification regarding what happened there. Lots of weird stuff on YouTube these days. Yeah, and I think that you're doing that out of just being thorough and not jumping to conclusions, which I also love, which I also respect very, very much. But even though I think you know what happened in that chat, you know because it happened to you, but I saw it. I saw it, and you were removed from that chat and probably blocked. Simply, excuse me, I'm drinking tea and I burped. Simply because you had a difference of opinion, and you weren't even trying to start any shit. You weren't even trying to start any shit. I didn't get that impression at all. But see, Amy, that's the thing. I think Mary is like someone else. My way or the highway, and she's really looking for answers, needs to be open-minded and less defensive. All these people are looking for is fangirls. Agreed. Fucking agreed. Yeah. And they're doing it, well, Mary Marlowe in particular is doing it in a very, very irresponsible fashion. She's doing it in a very irresponsible fashion. She blatantly admitted that she does not go by any facts. She blatantly admitted that. So, and then and if you try to actually provide her with a difference of opinion that could actually not cause an argument, but at least, bring up some thought and bring up the idea of a discussion, uh, then that scares the shit out of somebody who wants to make up their own shit, and they're just looking for views, and they're just looking for opportunity, and they're just looking for subscribers, and they're using and they're making up rumors. They're making up rumors based on nothing about people who were affected negatively in this case. And all she's doing is dragging the case along. And she was doing the same shit that a bunch of other people were doing. They were jumping on somebody's back who it was popular to dislike this person, and so they jumped all over that and then created some bullshit platform. Mary Marlowe is a perfect example of a channel that has grown with a base made of bullshit. So what happens when you create a channel and the base of it is pure bullshit? Well, then bullshit's going to grow from it, and it's going to get bigger and grosser and smell even worse. And yeah, and now her channel is huge. She has this ridiculous following of, you know, she's like an evangelist, you know, and then they're all giving her money. And I highly suspect it's all going right up her fucking nose. And she has the nerve to talk about how she's in recovery. And I fucking call bullshit on that, Mary Marlowe. You are not in fucking recovery. You're not in any type of recovery. Because people in recovery don't treat people like that. They don't do things that don't do the things that you're doing. One of the things in being in recovery is making amends, not fucking more people up and doing it and doing it for the fun of it and for the sake of greed. That's exactly why people go into recovery, so they stop acting that way. They stop behaving that way. Fucking shame on you. I wasn't even going to get into that, but fuck her. Fuck Mary Marlowe. Fucking wacky cracky. Yeah, she's fucking reprehensible. She makes me fucking sick. Like, at this point, I don't even think I'm going to listen to her anymore. Like, at first it was funny. At first it was funny to me. Now it just pisses me off. Especially the way that she treats people. And she's totally just shutting everybody out. She doesn't have the balls to debate anybody. She doesn't have the balls to actually do her own actual investigating and collect facts to actually have a discussion, a mere discussion with somebody else. All she does is sit on her channel and run her mouth. And unless you are blowing sunshine up her ass and blowing money on her fucking super chat so it goes right up her fucking nose, she's not interested in what you have to say. And that is fucking toxic. That's toxic to this true crime community. It's absolutely toxic. And she has the right to do it. I'm not faulting her for that. She has the right to do it. But if you're stupid enough to fall for the shit that she's saying, then shame on you too. Shame on you too. So sorry I got mad there. I'm not in the best mood. I'm really not. And yeah, I've got all kinds of emotions, kind of all you know, going back and forth here. But anyway, I think I made my point. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, guys. Um, hey, Kasha T. God, oh man, if I read, yo, Kasha, if I read your comment out loud, then I'm gonna go off some more about it, and I don't know if I don't know if I have the energy for that shit. and I kind of want to, but yeah, she's fucking something else. Anyway, thanks for logging on so late, guys. Anyways, Mignon, if you're listening to this, and I know we're gonna end up in the chat soon talking to you, um, but you're getting lots of love here, and everybody loves you. I love you, and I know that you're gonna kick this whole thing's ass. We all know you're gonna kick this whole thing's ass because you're already kicking this thing's ass. It's just you get some bad news, and it kind of discourages you, and we all get that because it happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. Um, but guys, I love you a lot. Thanks a lot for logging on so late and listening to me in my Mary Marlowe fueled mood swing that just happened there. But anyway, guys, love you a lot, and we'll talk soon. I'll talk to you guys Thursday night. All right.